Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and the wisdom of how they sold their first million.
How would you like to be able to grow your business and achieve your first million in sales? And today we have a surprise for you because we have a special guest. He's a serial entrepreneur, an angel investor. His name is David. So David, please, can you introduce yourself and share a little bit with us what you do?
Of course. Hi, Harry. Thanks a lot for this opportunity. I'm Davit. I'm serial entrepreneur and angel investor, as you already mentioned, from Tbilisi, Georgia. I am proud owner of Tsitsko Holding with 8 companies in it from around the globe. I am with tech background and IT background, and currently I own startups, 6 startups in my portfolio from the tech. And the last thing that I do, and mostly what I want to do, is to mentor SMEs and the startups in the near future. So I do that because I believe in supporting each other with the background and experiences that we share.
Excellent, David. And how this come from? How you started? Do you how I think that being an investor and being a mentor for a startup is a really difficult job, right?
Yes. I don't have much time for my daughter.
You do need to have a lot of experience. So how you decided that you're gonna become an entrepreneur? And it happened by accident? You have clear in your mind when you were young, or what?
No, it was very interesting story. I used to work for a very big company, and I was in IT. And luckily for some people, I did not have much to do, very actively to be involved, because the idea of the job was to solve the issues when there are the issues. And if you sorted out the system, there were not many issues. And I remember I had too much time, and I started online education. I started just to have these project management courses, MBA, blah, 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 all these things. And I had so much time. And then I realized, man, I got good job. I have so much time. In the same time, I don't feel that I'm developing myself. And then I started to assess myself, to say, what are the, strong sides of me? What are the weak sides of me? And then I realized that I was very good at communicating. I was very good at speaking. And then I realized that, okay, where can I use my speaking the best? And then I said, okay, I think there is the best place where you can talk to manage the people. And I said, okay, if I want to manage the people, I want to manage the people my way, not the others' way. And then I said, okay, let's start my own business. My first company I founded in 2016 together with my partner. And we were not friends. We just met by the work. So we were colleagues, and we shared a couple of ideas to each other, and we said, okay, why don't we do that? Because we both had IT background. We knew how data centers are working, and we started selling of passive infrastructure for the data center. And we succeeded, and then we developed, and out of there, I became serial entrepreneur with the variety of the companies in my portfolio.
So how was when you decided to start your first company, right? Do you analyze the gap in the market, or you just find a nice product and you said, I think that I can sell this product and I'm gonna build a company out of this? What happened?
We saw the fit on the market. We saw that on the market there was a niche. We knew the brands based on our experience, and we started to write the emails to those brands. And we said, we want to cooperate with you. We want to bring you to our country. We want to import your product, because we knew that these brands were very good at what they do. And we knew also that there was a couple of customers on the market who were very, very happy with those brands. So we already knew that there might be very good niche because of these positive testimonials and because of, nice fit of the product. And we started negotiations. We had no offices. We were inviting the guys who were
Oh,
coming
very
for the
good.
coffee in the cafe.
That's how you start, right?
Yes, yes. We had zero money. We shared to found the company in Georgia. It's very easy to do the business in Georgia. And in those periods, it costs only, I think, 30 euros. And I
Oh.
remember that we shared on the half, me and my partner, this 30 euros in order to start it. Yeah, that's the way it is. If you want to do something great, you have to do everything for it. And that is my mindset always. Even now, when I'm starting something from zero with some people or I'm mentoring the people, I always say, don't block yourself. You just go for it. No matter. You don't have money, there is no limit. You have contacts, or you have background, or you have education, or you have something. So that's the way we started, actually.
So, what is the biggest challenge, David, that you're facing mentoring founders in the tech space? What is the biggest challenge that you're facing at the moment?
Biggest challenge I'm facing usually is that the founders or the management cannot see the reality. That's the biggest problem, to face that you are not on top of the world. You are not most innovative person in the world, but you have to face the reality. You have to see that you have some issues, but you have good idea, good team, or you have some positive sides, and you need to make those positive sides your strengths. Not like I was just discussing a couple of days ago with one of the startup. I wanted to help them, and I was discussing with the founder, who is an amazing guy, some topics, and he said, we changed that, and then, I said, guys, you need to face reality because you see that there are some issues that you need to solve, and you believe to every CMO that you had, and then now you don't have the product because everyone messed up something. So you have to see, and you have to become very stubborn in terms of believing your idea. So this is two main things that I see mainly with the startups, facing.
Yeah, especially in tech, we find out that the founders they
Yes.
they uh they think that they have the best technology in the world,
Yes.
and they also focus in the technology, and they want all the money to be put in the technology to keep developing and keep developing. But in the end, it's a business. If you don't have a product and the product doesn't sell, you are nothing, right?
Yes, and I always say also, because when I started, it was not a startup, but I raised a couple of companies from zero to some big numbers. And I always say that the money is not most important in order to grow, in terms of growing. So I always say, don't make your life easy with the investors' money, rather than show some value, what you want to do out of it. And this is also, sometimes. So my unique point and unique selling point, usually when the startups are choosing me or the SMEs are choosing me, is that I have both perspectives. So I have perspective of the founder and the business owner, and I have perspective of the investor. So when they usually come to me and I start to mentor them, I show them both sides of the pie, because mainly the startups are focused on the product and they want to develop it. They want to show you something that they have, the technology, innovation. But on the other hand, they forget that the investors are simple humans as well. They need to, they need to believe in you. They need to see something that you really have. And they are very experienced at some point. And investors are not the guys who are just, out of nowhere. They had very, very good background of doing something that they earned so much money in order to invest. So that's the unique points and small details sometimes that are changing a lot in the life of the businesses.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, tech could be very rewarding, right? If
Of course.
if the people have actually a good product, and
Yes.
have a good market fit, and I think with the right mentors, with the right guidance, they can scale and take it to the next level. So at the moment, you have you have investment in 6 startups, right?
Yes, and I only started to invest last year. So basically, I'm not
Wow.
yeah. So I invested in 6 during this year and the last year, and I have currently I have commitment to 3 more. So basically, most probably we will finalize them. But I'm yeah, because I want to help as much as possible, not only by money but also with the contacts that I have and with the knowledge and background that I have. So I'm trying to expand my portfolio as much as possible. Yes.
So David, tell us a little bit about when you're investing in these tech companies. What do you see?
Okay,
What do you
from the invest.
analyze?
Yes.
Because I get that they are from different fields, right?
Yes, they are from different fields. They are from agri-tech or ed-tech or HR tech. I don't know what's the right term for it. So
So what are you
basically,
looking? What are you looking in the startup?
it's a very good question. Thanks a lot for it, Harry. So basically, from the investor perspective, most important things that we look, not only me, but my fellow investors and angels, is the team, it is the product, and scalability. This is 3 main things that we look at. So after due diligence and all these numbers came, you know, when it's all sorted out and you see, this is usually not the reality or not the post money thing. It's you know, usually this is what they want to achieve or the startups want to earn. Yeah. And so there is not much of the hope in that because this is not really based on something, but based on the idea and the maybe product MVP and the market. But so rather than that, we are always focusing on the team. So if it's diverse team, so if they have necessary experience, because once I had a startup who had 4 founders and all of them were software developers. And I said, guys, who is going to do marketing? Exactly. So, and they were, yes, you are right, you know, because, you know, you need to have the diverse team. You need to have at least 2-3 people, or there is opposite. There is a one founder and that comes and says, I'm the one and I can do everything. And which is not the case as well. You cannot do everything, you know. So diverse team, background of their team, what they do, how well they communicate, what are their plans, and how committed they are. Because sometimes we are facing the startups with the founders, they have full-time jobs and they are doing 2 hours, you know, per day or maybe even per week, 5-10 hours. And this is not commitment, because at the end, if we don't see that you are fully committed from the investor perspective, no, we will not invest in you. Yeah. So second is the product. So product, for example, I have one of very good startup in my portfolio who invented the soft material, fireproof material, which is withstanding very high burning temperatures of the lithium, which is a challenge for the future because in EV cars we have lithium batteries, in phones, in many applications. Yeah, and the challenge was to somehow, in case of the flame, somehow, you know, the kill the flame. And the problem is that the burning temperatures are so high for the lithium that you cannot basically, the firefighters saying that, or you know, online in the videos, that it's impossible to somehow solve it. So wow. These guys invented very thin material, and which is withstanding those very high temperature, and it's a flexible. Mm-hmm. And they are talking with the very big manufacturers, which I cannot say at the moment, unfortunately. And they are discussing to be a part of them and to be a supplier for them. And they are growing very fast. And in this case, the product for me was very important, of course, with the team and scalability, you know. Yeah. And sometimes we got the software as a service, or we got some different feel on the pitch deck. And I always see something that is very unique and niche, you know, for me, that so I can catch it. And of course, this is also background based, you know, of course, this is also investor background based what background you have, from which I'm coming. I own the energy business, which is biggest in my portfolio, and I know really well what can lithium batteries do if they are flat, So this is two, and the third one is scalability. This is the biggest issue. This is the biggest issue with the startup. When they come, they say, okay, I'm focusing, I don't know, some country which has 3 million people, and as an angel investor, you have like 0.5% or 1% of the company, and to wait for, this scalability on 3 million market. No. So basically, mostly I'm advising and I'm mentoring startups. I say, guys, think globally. Think on the universe level, not on the country or city level, because that's where the money is. Yeah, that's where the scalability lies, and you should not limit yourself, because our mind, there is no limit. Yeah, in our mind, we have just blocking ourselves, and I always support them to unblock these limits and to say, okay, let's focus 50 million market. I don't know, bigger markets, 2 billion people, because everyone wants to sell in US or those very developed markets, but they don't see the niche that there are, countries that are in development and they need, more tech into their economy. And that's the way we try to support them, to bring them.
Fantastic, David. And David, this in that journey, right? Like finding the unicorn, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So apart from the team, apart from the scalability, apart from the product niche, there is something else that you look into this startup based on your own experience that you because that you can think that, wow, this have a big chance to succeed.
Yes, of course. So I always travel. Just last week, I was on a Latitude in Estonia, which is the biggest startup event, and I was invited on IBAN Congress. I'm part of the European Business Angels as well, and we had very nice events, 2 events for the startups. And I always look at the stories. For example, Estonia had a Skype as a unicorn, and different countries have different, these unicorns. And I always ask more deeply about the team, about what they had, very unique. And I think there is no certain recipe that can say that, okay, this startup could be a unicorn. But what I think in my mind, and for this period, I always think that there should be some kind of charisma, some kind of something in the people itself, the bond between the founders. They should be very good fighters, but same time they should have the product which is a very, let's say, timely on the market. This is very important, in my case, because I see that you might have very good product, but market could not be ready, or it's not time for your product to be on the market. So these two things, charismatic people and a unique bond between the team and this market fit and timely on the market, is the two things that I think is the very important. But it's very rare to find, to be honest. It's very rare. Yeah.
And then, David, now let's go for these 5 steps, the step that everybody's waiting and looking forward to hear from you. In your opinion, David, in your as your experience as serial entrepreneur,
yes,
what are the 5 steps that you took building and growing your business, that you think that these 5 key steps led you to achieve your first million in sales? So
5. Okay, I was not ready for it, but I will try my best. So I think first and most important is to have realistic dreams. This is where you should start. If you are in the junkyard, you should dream, but you should dream about realistic and accountable dreams. This is how I started. I remember when I started, I was like, I was waking up during the night, and in my dreams, I was on the meetings to sell some stuff.
Wow.
I remember that very precisely because I was so focused on to do something that I wanted it so well. And I remember that usually I was like dreaming about 100K projects. And, I was dreaming about to have turnover of 500,000. And this is becoming reality if you have it countable and if you have it realistic. So if you are thinking about to sell 2 billion in 1 year, this is not possible. If there is not like luck involved or some kind of magic behind it, realistically, when you are starting from zero to sell 2 billion in 1 year is impossible. So you have to think realistically and dream realistically and have countable dreams. This is number one. Number two is to analyze yourself and your business. And this analysis should be very realistic as well. And how to do it? This is another topic for me to being a mentor, how to do it, how to analyze your business from the objective perspectives. And for that, you need to say, okay, what are my strengths? What are the strengths of the team? What are my weaknesses? How can I improve my weaknesses? But this should be very objectively analyzed. And then the next step is to be, to be like a water, not to be like a brick, but to be like a water, because the most important skill, flexibility. For me was that, in case we faced something very strong in front of us, people, and mainly my colleagues and the mentors and the coaches, they say, you need to drill the hole in the, in the concrete wall in order to achieve the success. Yeah, but this is old school. This is, you need to be flexible, guys. You need to be flexible. If you see
you can
that
go around the world, right?
Because, okay, if you have 2 million on your bank account and you know how to, drill, or you buy the drill or how to drill it, yes. But if you have zero or if you have 10K, you have to be flexible. Yeah. So by flexibility, I mean that you need to know when to stop and when to not stop, when to surrender and when to not surrender. Yeah. By surrender, I don't mean that to leave your business and say, I'm not doing it. But by surrender, I mean that, okay, maybe there is a way to avoid that and to still follow my aims and my dreams, but somehow be flexible about it. Yeah, this is most important. Third one that I learned based on my experience. Fourth one, when you are becoming big, you don't change your mindset dramatically. You don't change your mindset on the level of the product or on the level, you need to follow what you started, because the mission and the vision and everything never changes of the company. Because, never changes relatively. I don't mean that by time it changes, by the ages, by, different lives we live. But most importantly, this product vision that you have, or service vision, or something that you are selling, should stay same level. And what I mean by that, I can tell you by example. If you invented, or if you have glass, or if you have some software, and you have certain clients, you need to analyze those clients. Why are they buying your product? And by analyzing is very easy. You just ask them, okay, why are you buying that? What's your motivation to buy it? And based on that result that you will get, you need to always think growing same way. What I mean by same way, same kind of people is going to buy your product if you have same product on the bigger scale. So you will not have like a variety of the different clients who are going to buy your product. So I say, don't change your mindset based on the growth dramatically. You should adjust. You should think differently when you're growing, but you should not, change it very much. And the last one for me, I would say, is to stay to stay on your principles, you know. And for me, I think that there are principles in the business, and there are the rules that you are following from your heart. And I always say that the business looks like the persons that they that are creating that business, you know. And I always say that you should follow your heart sometimes in the business too. So never say that, okay, there are no principles, or we should do something that is not acceptable for me personally, and this is necessary for the business. No, I'm against of it. You should stay on your principles. You should stay on your path, and you should do what you're thinking is right at the moment for you and for your business. Whew, I think I did it. High five. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's fantastic, David.
Mm,
And
thank you.
what is the message, right? The message that you have, that you can share with founders out there, that they're looking to drive the company forward. They're looking to start and grow. What is
Yes.
the biggest message that you have for them?
I have two, if I may. So one is, if you believe in something, I mean, there is no point of stopping, because you will just, you just throw away all the things that you did already. So don't stop. There is always a way to somehow overcome the challenges, because I faced so many times. I used to be a CEO of my company, and I faced very dramatic issues, and there were, ugly moments in the business, but there is a way. Stay calm. There is a way to overcome the problems. And the second I want to say is that regarding the grow, I was comparing that to the hot air balloon. In order hot air balloon to fly high, sometimes you need to throw the weights away. Not the people, but the weights. So basically, what I think, sometimes you need to think very, very much about the efficiency. So because I have a friend who has the company which is selling 130 million a year, and he's employing 13 people full time, or 14
Wow.
people. So
Wow,
when he told me that, I
very
did not knew. Yeah, that's amazing.
a lot of efficiency, right?
Yeah, and when he told me, I said, "Man, you are efficient." Because I mean, it's a very rare when you find such a small team. Of course, they have the contractors, and and
Yeah.
they employ much more, but full time they employ only 14 people. So this is the efficiency, and this is the grow, and they grow. So they sold last year, I think, 80 million.
Mm-hmm.
And next year they sold like 130, which is like huge growth, 50 million. It's almost double. And with 14 people. So I said, guys, I mean, that's the efficiency. That's the way it works. Not like hiring 80 software developers and burning like investors' money for 3 years. No, this is not. I mean, yeah, okay, you can do something with it, but efficiency is the key. And especially when you're growing, because I have the businesses that are in very big growing phases on the larger scale, and we see the same. We see there that 1, 2, 3% is changing the game. And 3% is not a lot, but on the scale of 130 million, 3% is a lot. It's a couple of millions. So these two messages, I would say, is the most important that I want to share with the world now.
And I think, David, that when I started our first business in property, right?
Yeah.
We managed to sell over 5 million, and this was the key or the secret of our property business, right? It was that it was very efficient. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
We have like 5 employees in total, and few subcontractors, and the whole operation. I'm thinking that I invented the concept working from home, right? I'm telling you,
Yeah.
12 years ago, I'm
Yeah.
like with with our team, and nobody wants to go to the office.
Of course.
It was we were renting rooms here in London, and it was a battle. Like I didn't want to go to the office. The team
Yeah.
didn't want to go to the office, and I'm sitting one day. I said, "Look, why we need this office in the first place?
Yeah.
It's costing me money. The printer, everything is, and none of you want to be there anyway. So
Yeah.
let's be happy. So
Yeah.
and if you're in your house working from home, can you produce more? Oh yeah. Because I'm wasting time 1 hour here in London, depending on the transport where you live. They were
Yeah.
wasting time, so they were killing the mobility for them, right? So
Yes.
the office was not doing any favor, and since then, every business, every venture that we started, it was working from home, right? So
Yeah.
when
Efficiency.
COVID came, we look at us and nothing actually changed because we've been doing it for way long time,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
You were prepared for the I think biggest challenge for the business for the last century, I would say.
Yeah, a lot of people have a struggle and everything, and for us, nothing changed. It was totally normal. We
I'm on the same term, Harry.
so yeah, efficiency and productivity is key in business, right?
Yes,
If,
definitely.
if you want, because at the end of the day, technology plays a big part of it, right? If you
Yes, of
have
course.
technology and the key team, right? Maybe
Yeah,
you can do something amazing with very little personal, and that we obviously it was very good financially to attract funding to grow
of
the
course.
business, right? So
EBITDA is the magic word, I'm sure. So
can we say, David, that every single startup that you get into, the first thing that you look at is how can you help them to be more efficient?
It's a deep analysis. I do deep research. If they have office, I always go to the office. I just sit down quietly. I don't do much. I don't do this writing on the notebook. No, everything is in my head. So I sit down quietly. I just look, what is the operation? I try to go at the end of the nerves, what I called every employee, all the last employees on the chain. Not only with the management, or not only with the decision makers, and I just collect the data, and the very small details are usually talking about the inefficiency. There might be some employee who is just unhappy with very small detail, like a coffee, not having coffee in the office,
Yeah.
or sometimes if it's not about the team. Sometimes there are employees that are just not necessary, and sometimes I find very, very strange issues, like lack of some kind of software, productivity software, which can solve your efficiency issues like in 2 minutes. So it depends. Again,
That
as
comes
I
with
told you.
experience, right?
Yeah, it depends. I'm not only working with the startups. With the startup, it's more about how to scale the teams. With the startups, there are different challenges because they are techie and they know how to use the tools. So basically, we don't have this kind of issues. But with the SMEs or some medium-sized businesses, I face the businesses which are 20, 30 years old,
Wow.
and they don't use PCs. So I face these kind of businesses. I say, guys, you need to change that in the first
But for
money,
those business,
because
David, you can make a huge difference, right?
yeah, of course. And
They
then
have the
there's
client, they have the infrastructure, they just, with few productivity tools, they can increase profit margin.
80% market share on certain countries, smaller countries they had on their products.
Wow.
They are producing fruits. They have farms.
And they didn't have PCs.
No, they were writing on the paper. And I said, guys, guys, you need to change that in the first place in order to, because I said, okay, guys, we can go deeply. We have time for it.
Yeah.
So I said, okay. They said they were complaining. They came to me. They were complaining. Last year our biggest client pushed our prices like very, very few, like 10 cents per kilo or something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the season, because this is the fruit production, so there is a season. They said, we calculated at the end of the season, and we lost a couple of million. And I said, yes, that's bad. But what do you want from me? Because how can I cannot recover your millions. But they said, what was the problem? And then I started, to ask them questions. I didn't have them time to go to the farm. And I said, okay, what you have, how you work, what is that? And I realized that they did not have any Excel sheet in order to analyze what was the price that they were producing, and what was the margin, or what was the scenario if they sold to the biggest client in 10 cents less. So basically I said, guys, you just need the Excel for it, and you just need to count it. And then you need to, if they are asking you to change something, you need to just have the small, formula in the Excel table, which will say how much money will you earn, or maybe will not earn at all. And these kind of very small details usually are changing the
make
complete
a
picture.
Huge impact.
Yes.
And
they were investing into machinery a lot, and to buy the cars and to buy even the machinery in order to automate the stuff. And they did not have the Excel computer and Excel to calculate. So biggest outcome of this is that the counting is never stopping story. So after each quarter, you need to count every penny you had, every expenses you had. This is most important. I remember when I had like 100K turnover, I was counting each quarter. I was like, analyzing each 20 euros we wasted. I said, okay, where can we be more efficient? And this is true story. You can ask my coworkers or customers, because without it, there is no business without numbers. Yeah.
Every single pound has to be accounted for, right? And how can you get the best of this pound, right?
Yes. I mean, if you are talking about efficiency is starting based on analysis of the numbers. Yeah, not only to sit in the office, but to see where we have the problem. And even now, I mean, in my businesses, I'm mainly involved from the strategic director point of view. And I'm trying to, analyze these issues still into my bigger businesses, and I still trying to find efficiency loopholes where we can say, okay, this could be efficiently, managed, or this could be changed, or that could be done differently. And this is non-stop stuff. We are never stopping doing that. We are doing that, permanently. Every year, every time, every day, we are doing that. We're talking about that with my founders. What can we improve? And how can we improve that?
Okay. And with that note, David, thank you so much. And for every one of you that they are listening this podcast, please take pen, paper, and I advise you to watch the event again, because this has been a very valuable information. And for you, David, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks a lot.
To share your experience with us, how you approach business, so every one of our listeners can have an inspiration and can have if their dream is realistic, it's possible to take it to the next level. David, finally, how they can find you? If somebody have a startup out there that they think that they can take it, that with a little bit of help, it can be revolutionary, and or someone have a business, somebody is driving the car now, listening the podcast, and it's like, I'm in the same situation, selling my product. I have big share in the market, but I don't have computer, or all our systems are old. We find a lot of issue with legacy, right? That is the people don't want to change the legacy of
course.
the technology. Also, the people don't want to change, right? This is a big problem here in UK, legacy.
Yeah,
And
I would say everywhere in the world
you
that's a
find
big
big
problem.
companies, oil companies, huge company, and the systems are really old. Now everything is cloud-based, and the time keeps going, and nobody wants to change, right? And they are
Yeah,
stuck in the old legacy, and this is a huge issue. I mean, I think it's in UK, maybe all over the world. So if somebody is driving the car,
yeah.
somebody have this issue, how they can find you, David?
Yeah, so mainly I have a website, davit.net, daviti.net. So you can easily find me there. And you can find me on LinkedIn. I try to be as active as possible on LinkedIn as well. My name is Davit Tsitsko, Tsitsko. So you can find me there. Feel free to, connect with me, send me a question. I have free time slots of 30 minutes, free consultancy. During that time, we can share the ideas. I can understand more about your issues, and I can try to help you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, David. And for
Thanks a
all
lot.
of you listening, bye for now, and see you in the next episode. How successful entrepreneur drive and overcome the obstacles to achieve the first million in sales, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Thank you so much for listening. See you next time. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Follow us for more interviews with the world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.